Hi guys, my name is Keith Neurotis, known as the leader and superior of Club LASM, aka lover of animated shows and movies, and I'm here with Gilbert.
Hello! Hooty hoot hoot!
And our newest member, Rachel. Or Tiny
Hi,
Wolfdog.
everyone.
So first things first, how are you guys doing in this lovely Saturday afternoon?
Well, let's see. I just finished the story mode of Far Cry 6, and I'm a little happy that this one ended on a slightly better note than the previous games. The previous game, you just feel like a huge jerk, or you've been duped all this time. It's just...
And I am doing very well. I am very glad to be here with these two lovely gentlemen.
Oh, thank you. And me, I'm just having so far a very good start of my summer. I mean, my summer literally started. Finally done with HCC Community College, and I don't know what's my next step is ahead. I don't know what my next step is, but I know I'll figure it out over the summer. So it feels like everyone having a good day, but as of now, we are now in the calm before the storm territory, because 8 p.m. is going to be just filled with emotions, with Amphibia the hardest thing.
True to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm legit not ready for that show to go.
I don't think anyone is.
And this is coming from I love watching Steven Universe, and when Steven Universe ended, that's when I found it Amphibia. After Steven Universe ended, I found it Amphibia, and now 2 years later, I still can't believe that Amphibia is going to end just like that.
Well, at least it'll end the way Matt Braley wanted it to go, kind of like what Alex Hirsch did for Gravity Falls.
And even that was a good show.
Yeah, exactly. See?
Yeah.
That's a take comfort to think about.
Yeah, if Alex Hirsch were able to tell a story and complete a story on a better note, then I'm sure Matt Braley is the same.
He did say that he is open for continuation in some form in the future, but he doesn't got any plan for that. He just wants a long break, and I can't blame him.
Yeah, he's been in the industry for how long? Working a lot?
The man deserves a break.
Yes, he does. And as for everyone else in his team, if they happen to have a story to share, like a new... if they are able to get a show of their own, I would love to see what they come up with. Because let's not forget, from Gravity Falls, we got Amphibia, Matt, Owl House, Dana, Inside Job, Shion.
Yeah, and don't forget Michael Rionda with the movie Mitchells vs. the Machines.
Oh, yes, Michael, yes. Also from another Gravity Falls alumni, the Mitchells vs. the Machine. That is a fun movie.
Yeah, I loved it. Yeah,
Fun movie indeed.
And speaking of Dana, I think we should say that Owl House newest episode, Oh Titan, Where Art Thou, was a really good episode. So I think it's best for all of us, we should get towards to that episode. That is, Oh Titan, Where Art Thou?
Allow me to introduce...
Wait, hold on.
The Covens Against the Throne.
We talked about this. You promised.
A.K.A...
I did not agree to this name!
The Cats.
O Titan, where art thou? Ida and Luz scrambled to face the Day of Unity. King faces his true identity.
Yep.
The Day of Unity is only 2 days away.
Oh, yes, it is.
I mean, to us, to the Owl House world, it's 2 days, but for us, it's 2 weeks. So, I mean, for next week's episode, it'll be 1 day away, and then the season finale, that's when the Day of Unity will actually happen. So, yeah.
Yeah, King is still struggling with his... he's having a little identity crisis for being, what is he, 9?
8 or 9? 8, I guess?
8 or 9? It's basically he's a little kid having a little identity crisis. Luz, King, and Hootie managed to go back to the Owl House completely ransacked, but they found a note where to find Lilith and Ida. And then, they told the whole story of what happened, and Lilith is now praising King as a god. Meanwhile, Ida doesn't want anything bad happen to King or Luz and wants to try to send him away somehow. But Luz wants to go find King's favorite toy, Francois, the little stuffed bunny thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really sad for me to hear that Ida literally has no idea what to go. At this point, she has at this point, it's sad on her part. So
It's
they're on
sad
the
for
run.
her.
They're now fugitives at this point. But I just thought
And
to
plus,
myself, then again, they do have a group of Hexite students that's going to help her out. So
I'm not sure how much they know that, but
yeah.
then King goes out, still finding himself, and then he finds Steve on a motorcycle, who is, just wants to live his own life, not by Coven rule.
the rebellion he is.
Yeah.
So Steve takes King on a road trip, and Ida and Luz manage to sneak into the warehouse in disguise. While Luz is trying to look for the stuffed bunny, Ida tries to contact Rain and asks which come to realize that Rain was in their own state of mind, like they have not been affected in any way. They use some tricks to make sure that they're not being controlled. But Ida then asks Rain to help her by taking Luz and Ida away from here. When Luz overhears this, she runs off, and in the end, they both get captured by the Coven.
Yeah, and that's the sad part. The sad part is that I did not think in a million years that Luz and Ida would be in this argument. Like, being the fact that they're the two of the best mother-daughter figure. Never thought in a million years that they would end up in this argument. And that fight scene broke my heart to the core. My heart.
They were captured, put in the caravan, but it turns out it was all a ploy by Rain, Darius, and Eberwolf, all in on the scheme.
And then later on, Steve, and then Lilith, and then the 3 members of the Bat. Yes.
Oh, yes, I forgot to mention. Thank you for mentioning that. I almost forgot. Then Lilith catches up to King. Still worship him, but King, he just wants to say he's just King. He's not a god or anything. Then I guess Lilith then kind of learns that just you gotta treat King like a normal person.
Yeah, and here's the thing: how proud I am about King's development, because remember throughout Season 1, his only dream goal is to be like a tyrant type of person. But now that his dream felt fulfilled after learning that he's a Titan, it's this is not what he wanted. He just wants to be a kid. Yes, I'm so proud of him.
Then they all are back together, and now they're trying to come up with a plan to stop the Day of Unity in a few days. Until then, Ida is teaching Luz how to carve her own talisman.
Yes! We're finally going to have a talisman.
Do we have any predictions on what her talisman is going to be?
Oh my
Lots
God.
of people say bats. Others say bird. I'm hoping for a snake. Kind of like Jafar in Aladdin.
I think the snake would fit better, because there's a hint. If you look at the title of the Owl House, you would see, there's a staff with the S being a shape like a snake.
Yeah, and that's what I was about to say. I was thinking of the snake too, because you can literally see they were teasing us what Luz's talisman right at the title the whole time. We see Ida's staff of the owl, and Luz's could most likely be the snake. Dana is
or
just
a dragon.
Yeah. Or
a dragon.
Or an otter with the dark side.
Because it could be either all 3. An otter, snake, bat, Palestine.
It'd be a really freaky looking monster. But knowing Luz, I would not be surprised if she tries to create a chimera of her own.
That would honestly be really cool.
Pretty
Yeah.
hard to draw, wouldn't it?
So with that said, like, what were your favorite moments when you watched that episode?
Well, we usually try to dissect some of these episodes beforehand, right? Before we go into our favorite parts. So let's start with with Lilith, basically just worshiping King like a god.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah.
Me, what really made me laugh a bit when Lou said, "Yeah, just because King's got tall genes doesn't make him a god."
Exactly.
And I will say, no, Luz, you are incorrect. Because apparently in mythology, Titans were gods in their own way. They were pretty powerful. Some even control the elements. One Titan was able to control time.
Really?
Yep, his name was Kronos. There's some confusion whether it's a separate Kronos or the king of the Titan, Kronos.
Ah.
And then after the Titans, they have children, which we know as gods, and so on.
Yeah, I find it hilarious when Lilith was questioning whether if King is a gentle god or angry god. But all I know, yeah, we all know that King is a gentle god.
I can remember. I watched it a while ago, but I do remember like really liking it. It was an interesting episode because like I like some of the parts with like how Lilith was kind of like worshiping King because when they found out that King's a Titan, they were just like, oh, we should worship him. That's what Lilith said at least.
Yeah, I mean,
Sorry, I
Lilith,
burped. Lol.
it's like to me, Lilith still has that similar attitude like she had when it comes to like worshiping Emperor Bellows, like from season 1, but still.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting to see how far like Lilith is like progressing as a character, especially like since like the last episode of season 1. Like looking back now, like look how she acts, significantly different than how she did before, which I think is interesting.
But yeah, just Lilith following him around, of worshiping him like a god, trying to give him tea and all that, even willing to sacrifice in his name.
No, don't, Dana, do not give Dana any ideas, please. Do not give Dana any ideas.
I think it's too late now.
God, fuck. I mean, we only have 2 weeks away.
And only 2 days away.
And of course, I was just trying to go to the wholesome part before going to the deep, dark parts of it. King's journey with Steve, that was really, that was pretty cool, you know? Steve gives, lets King sit in the, sidecar, and just ride away.
Yeah, it's like,
And the helm.
the dynamic.
You know, to be honest, I didn't even think they would have a motorcycle in that world. I thought it would be like some sort of like dragon cycle from Star Versus.
And I just love and appreciate the dynamic between King and Steve on that, like, A plot or B plot, whatever. I just love their dynamic together. Like, they are literally starting to become the best duo. The best highlight of the show.
You know what really hurts me the most in this episode?
What?
It's surprisingly not Luz and Ida's fight. That didn't like hurt me at all. But what really hurt me was King hugging the Titan's part. Yeah, he's hugging like a piece of rib from the Titan.
Like an actual, like, rip from the dead Titan.
That hurts me more.
And the fact
Luz
that
versus Ida.
And the fact that he poses just like the Titan, he made the similar pose just like the Titan on that montage. Oh my god. I wish I wanted to cry now. I wanted to cry so bad.
I also feel pretty bad for Steve too.
Yeah, he gets hurt a lot. Like,
no, I mean, yeah, he gets hurt, but he doesn't blame him. Like, you know how apologetic he is. Like one time when the student effects guy punched Steve, and he was like, "Oh no, it's all cool, it's super high." And when Willow captured him, to her vines, and Emily was like, lucky shot, Willow. And Steve was like, hey, don't listen to her, man. You
totally got me.
You totally got me. And everybody's gonna understand how Hootie just punched him or tackled him. No. What really made me feel bad for Steve is that he saw two old ladies walking together, and Steve cried like, why can't I have somebody?
Oh, wow. Never thought I'd see two old ladies actually in the queer. You know?
Do you think that Steve wanted to do that with Lilith? About how close they are?
He really is a huge fan of Lilith. He was there at the party, like, yeah, go Lilith.
I don't know. Looks like we'll wait and see.
I mean, I'm not sure. Like, I forgot how they confirmed Lilith. Was she Ace? Like, I really can't remember. I know they mentioned something about that.
Aromantic.
She's Arrow.
Yeah, aromantic.
But it could have been Steve that was saying the little gifts to her.
Yeah.
Do you think that's a possibility?
Well, all I know is that Steve deserves happiness. That's all I'm gonna say.
Steve, the gentle being. That is for sure.
And what's also funny is when Steve removes his helmet, looking at it, there's some people who pointed out that he looks very similar to Bartholomew. And didn't Matt say that he had a brother at some point? I think it was mentioned.
Yeah, he does have a. I think I don't remember, but I have to find that whatever episode he said about him having a brother. I'm gonna have to find that.
Me too.
But if that's the case, I think we might have found him.
Right under our noses the whole time.
Do you think that Steve would be proud of his little brother joining in the multi-track?
Oh, I'm pretty sure he will. If that's the case, I'm pretty sure Steve will, because hey, Steve makes his own destiny.
But I didn't see a hint that he could have used the construction magic to fix the wheel. And who is also in the construction track? But Daniel.
And what really made me laugh the most, Steve's interaction with Lilith is the end when everybody got together and it turned out that there was a whole conspiracy underneath the Emperor's coven, and Steve was like, "Hey, did you know about all this?" And Lilith said, "I'm starting to realize I wasn't very good at my job."
Yeah, it took me a second watch for me to finally realize that Lilith was so focused on trying to bring Ida into the coven throughout season 1, she hardly even noticed what is really going on around her. She hardly even noticed, you know?
You know what? You know what really hurts? Or not really. I'm not sure if it hurts now, but you know what's really sad? Ever since she left the Emperor's Coven or was kicked out, turns out things went a lot smoothly for the Coven without her. It's evil, but if you think about it, they got more recruitment. Their plans are working out better. Lilith was literally holding the Coven back.
That is very
really. So we see Lilith and she's like so confident, so smart. She really is smart. But she just sucks at this job because she was so obsessed with getting Ida to join the Coven that she neglected most of her duties. Hell, wasn't there an episode where it said that she was teaching Amity?
Yes, the convention episode, way back in episode 5.
Yeah, the convention episode. And how much did it dwell on that? I'll tell you, nothing. Because she was still obsessed with Ida. She was more obsessed with Ida joining the Coven than doing any other work for the Coven, and even neglecting her own students.
I want to talk about the emotional moment between Luz and Ida, because through Luz's perspective, we already know that Luz's father passed away. So for her to see being taken away, think about it. she's now starting to feel this very sad memory of the time where Camilla is about nearly sending her away to summer camp. She doesn't want that happening again with Luz, like sending her away somewhere else, you know?
I gotta admit, her saying you're sending me away, I'm gonna admit, while I'm not as emotionally invested in some of these characters as you all are, I gotta say that one did kind of hurt.
It
Yeah.
did. Especially with Camila's reason and Ida's reason to send Luz away. Now that makes a huge difference. Camila wants Luz to stop imagining any fantasies, while Ida wants Luz to be safe from the dangers, the day of unity, because she's just a kid.
Yeah, it's just a kid. So I guess he's used to raising a kid.
Yeah, and I
Mhm.
guess
But
Ida
not a
just
teenager.
doesn't. And I guess Ida now sees that Luz has already experienced enough trauma enough as it is. She doesn't want to put any more trauma on Luz.
I also like the stuff with like Ida and Luce, like how Luce kind of thought that Ida was trying to throw her under the bus or whatever, like for not like being a part of their initial plan. But then she found out they don't have a plan, so
I remember one of my friends pointing out another connection between Ida and Stan. When things looked like it was getting too much to handle, Stan was willing to send Dipper and Mabel back in their home in California. And look at Ida. She didn't want Luz to be in any sort of danger, something that she can't handle, so she's hoping to send her away somewhere safe.
And like in the season 1 finale, she opened the portal to the human realm so Luz can go.
I will say Ida and Stan, they have a lot more in common than we previously thought.
Yeah. And this
So
isn't it completely obvious that the Alice was created by Gravity Falls alumni? Like seriously, the similarities.
No. We know that, but I'm just saying, like I still can't. I'm still picturing the scenario when Ida met Stan at Las Vegas, and I would just love to see a short on that. It's just her like flirting with him, got married, and then stole all of this crap.
Oh, jeez.
how would she be able to take all of the crap if she only has her staff?
She's a trickster, and she stole his car. She stole his freaking car.
I doubt she destroyed it in just a minute.
Like, if she managed to steal a car, understand a guy who loves scamming people, I'm pretty sure she could do anything.
I feel like
She'd probably trick a sucker into giving her a bigger bag to carry all that crap.
I feel like it's like a hell of a boss with Blitzo and Verostica. Sorry, I stole your car. That type.
Yeah.
Back with Luz and Ida, just seeing Luz just like losing it, like she since Camilla's not there, Ida's the only mother she has, and just willing to betray her like that. That's gotta sting. Her screaming like a banshee certainly doesn't help.
I wouldn't say calling it a fight or like a detention between Luz and Ida. Now that was gonna be rough.
It's really interesting how quick Luz was able to use these glyphs. I'm sitting there thinking to myself, Luz, she thinks she could take on Bellows. Does she really think that? Like, if she could barely take on Harpy Ida, who, let's face it, is most likely weaker than Bellows, what chance does she have against the Emperor?
Yeah.
Bellows is the Emperor.
Like the fighting scene, like with how Luz completely knows how to do all these glyphs is now more. You can see how throughout the evolution of each of the episodes, Luz is now starting to improve her fighting skills. But with that scene alone, like out of all characters that Luz has been fighting, I did not think that she would actually fight Ida. That still broke me. Like, I'm still shocked to this day to see it.
More specifically, she was fighting to run away.
Oh yeah, like you saying, try to defend herself, try to escape.
Yeah, I see a lot of people talking about that. You know how it really hurts, and I know I bring this up a lot of times, but no, it's like as I mentioned, it's like fighting your own mother, who you really love. It's
It's a bit more of the physical than the emotional, but the mental. It says physical. Let's put it like that.
What was that said? What were your favorite moments when watching Oh Titan Where Art Thou?
Luce meets Rain for the first time, which I think is interesting. Yeah, it was a good episode.
I'd say the ending part where it was all like a big surprise that Rain he saved Ida and Luz, and they actually met, and the whole cats covens against the
right,
throne.
cats. What was the
Covens
ovens
against the
against the
throne.
thrones?
Coven's
And
Against the
Darius was like,
Throne.
I did not agree to this.
Yeah, I also like that part where Luz finally met Rain because it was like 2 episodes. Uh, I think it was Follies at the Coven Day Parade that she heard about Rain. This is the episode where Luz actually met her for the first time. That got me second thinking now. Was Ida really did had a plan since the day since the moment she escaped?
Like a last minute thing. Like after she was talking to Rain, I guess that's when she starts getting a little more hopeful.
I think that Derek, Everwolf, and Rain like hijacked cars. And which
Holy
makes
crap!
it
She's still stealing cars, just like in Las Vegas.
Oh my gosh.
who else is like in the rebellion? As
Well, we got Rain's bards against the throne. I forgot their names, but they're Kenya, Amber, and Derwin.
Derwin.
God, got that name
and
right.
talking about like the coven heads, because we know that Terra and the illusionist coven head are on Team Bellows.
Oh yeah, but what I really love about Darius is like when he and Averil were capturing Rain, and he didn't like Rain said, "You didn't tell me the plan," and Darius like, "You're a bad actor. I had to make it look good." It feels like that's kind of a shot against the illusion coven head. Did you see how demanding he is as a director and how some people will be able to see through his schemes? It sounds like Darius should be like a director, not him.
I think it's because that Darius went to Hexside with Rain, that they had like this sort of bond.
Oh, I saw that. We see that Darius was in the same school with Rain, a flashback, and But yeah, I would say if the Illusion Covenhead and Darius were to make a movie on their own, I would watch Darius's movie, to be honest.
Yeah.
I want Darius's movie too.
Me three. Like he's really starting to become a really chill dude, like really good person.
Would you think that Dana would make an art as just Darius making a movie?
If Dana ever were to make a movie, I'm not sure if it's gonna be with the Owl House, because there's a joke earlier in the episode when Ida and Luz were going to the warehouse. Ida said, "Wouldn't you rather, I don't know, have a beach day?" Luz said, "If we had time for 20 more adventures, but we don't."
Yeah, took a rewatch for me to finally realize I just saw it. Now it's clearly acknowledging the fact that the show just got cut short. I think they got the announcement of this third season being cut short while in production of the season 2B, and they just put it in there. That's my only acknowledge. That has to be.
They canceled the show before the
I'm like,
season 1 finale.
I'm like, damn, I haven't there are probably a few other times, but to see that many shades against Disney in in their own show. That's gotta be like, I know some shows will try to make fun of capitalism and all that. I've seen it done a few times. But Dana or the Owl House team, like they're throwing all sorts of shade at Disney, and I don't blame them.
Yeah, they have a
How
bright
dare-
future for a third season, only for it to be cut short, having to be taken away from them. Like, they're pissed.
And then they're getting like 40-minute 3 specials. That ain't enough. Is there another way to continue the Owl House? Like,
Not
like Infinity Train. How that got to
Well-
HBO Max?
well, but that's the thing. Infinity Train, its fate is kind of unknown. I know that some people say, or even Owen thinks that maybe they could try to repitch again over the new reconstruction at Warner Media. But honestly, it is very, very hard to tell what's going to happen. But I will say, with Disney, things are getting a little heated, especially with the CEO Bob Chapek, as he keeps giving them bad press. There hasn't been any words from him. There are some signs that he could be replaced next year. That is still left to be determined, but that sounds like a smart move.
Anyone see the hidden message in the episode?
I don't know, Keith. Did you?
I think I found it. It said help me, or it said something about hear me. I don't know. Oh,
Hello?
you mean the Dakota message, or
Mm-hmm.
oh, the Dakota message. I think it was found while Luz was being chased after Ida on the big argument scene, where we now see the Dakota word being him. H-I-M, him. Him can most likely be referring to as Emperor Bellows or the Titan. And if you add
Or
him...
the Collector.
Oh
yeah, I forgot to
yes,
pronounce
the
the
Collector.
CZ.
I almost forgot about them. We see the Collector in the dream scene with King in the Space Between Worlds. The Collector really wants a playmate. My headcanon is that the Collector is Loki's kid.
Now that you add him into the Dakota message, it now reads, seething seas and puppet strings. He no longer dreams of kings. As above rush darkened skies, as below his...
Now
Wait,
we
was
need to
it-
wait for
Like
next
2
week.
episodes left to figure it out what it is.
Yeah.
I think it's an interesting message. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think it's. I'd say it's interesting. I'd say, to say the least. Yeah, I'm with you there.
So,
Do you think
his
the last coded message will be fate
fate,
or destiny?
as below his destiny rise, or...
Oh, it's fate or destiny. That's gotta be something.
Oh, his fate. If his fate, that means most likely as below his fate lies. Or if it's destiny, as below his destiny rise. That could be interesting. We only have 2 weeks of this, and we have like 2 Dakota messages left to find.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
And another thing I just found interesting is the title of the episode, "O Titan, Where Art Thou?" Which a reference to I think almost a 20-year-old movie, "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?"
Oh.
Yeah.
I know you may think like you hear "Oh Romeo, Where Art Thou?" from Romeo and Juliet, but I would say not. The Owl House in general has all sorts of mixture of mythology and legend. "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?" is based on Greek mythology, the Odyssey, which has all sorts of monsters and magic.
With that said, what can you expect on next week's episode that is Clouds on the Horizon?
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be such a dramatic scene. If you see the adventure, all the students of Packside, including Hunter, are coming the rebellion. And
Yeah.
they watch like the Day of Unity starting.
I just really, I can't wait to see what Luz's Palisman is. When are we gonna see? Are we gonna see it on next week's episode or on King's Tide?
Yeah, if something tells me, it gives me more of a feeling of Avengers Endgame vibe. But this time, instead of Avengers Infinity Train, then Endgame, it could most likely be reversed for the next 2 episodes, with Clouds on the Horizon being Endgame, and King's Tide being the Infinity War. You get what I mean?
Yes.
Hey, you see you had that backwards?
Yeah, I'm saying it backwards because of the outcome. What could most likely? Because something tells me something crazy is going to go down. Something crazy is about to happen.
I'm not so sure because in the synopsis, Clouds on the Horizon, everyone on the Isle prepares to celebrate the Day of Unity, and then King's Tide, the Day of Unity begins. If we're going to be basing this on any Marvel thing, I would say King's Tide will be Infinity War. And then the rest of season 3 will be Endgame.
Well, I guess that kind of makes sense.
Do you guys think that King will have like some sort of transformation since he's like connected with the Collector to like release that Titan power?
You know, it's also pretty interesting. It's also pretty interesting when you think about it. In Greek mythology, Titans used to run the world until the gods overthrew them. My bet, the Collector is a god, and I guess he's just tidying things up, tying up loose ends.
And all I'm scared is that King could most likely be the one possessed by this Collector.
A little twist over Dina's drawing?
Definitely. And we could probably see like some sort of dramatic that King gets himself to set the Collector free, releasing the Titan blood within him.
Now I'm really scared about those next 2 weeks. Oh, with that said, thank you guys all for being in another LASM podcast, as we are now 4 hours away to the big Amphibia final episode, and oh my god, I have to get everything ready within the next 4 hours.
I cannot watch it at that time. I had to wait until hours later to watch it.
Yeah, that's why starting now, I will be going back to having podcast recording Tuesday, so that way it'll give everyone the time to refresh up, rewatch the episode, and have their opinions and paper ready. So with that said, make sure to drop, like, and subscribe. Click on the notification bell so that way you won't miss out on the animation content. And with that said, I bid you peace. Bye!
Okay.
Say bye, everyone.